Good morning. I'm really quite tired this morning. I got up 5 times in the night with Bear, and took him out and brought him back in. Eventually he did go to the toilet. And that was only after he jumped up and smashed my pot plant. So at 3:30 this morning, I was cleaning up pot plant, as in a rose that lives in a plant, not pot. Sorry, not that exciting. It's now 8:30. I turned off the alarm and tried to go back to sleep. I was awake till 5:30. Now he's just here barking at me. I really can't be arsed at all this morning. I know I should be, but I can't. I'm really thirsty and I'm hurting. Like physically hurting. My back and my arms and my hands are still. This is ridiculous. Early hours, I messaged the 2 vets locally to put all the things down and ask them to see Bear. So I wait for their reply. I'm going to go and get a cup of tea. The wind's blowing just a little. I've been watching the grass as it dances in the breeze. And I thought, what a beautiful day. I'm going to air everything out. So I've got the doors open. And I've done a little bit of tidying. Nothing strenuous, just a little bit of sorting. And I've got the rug out and placed it over on the base over there, which you kind of can see, but you can't really. Just to get it to air, see if it'll dry out a bit. And yeah, I'm just enjoying the day. Just little bits, you know. Sometimes it's important just to baby steps rather than giant big ones. And it's still things that weren't achieved this morning. So this progress is still progress, even though it's a lot less than some days. It's just right for today. Bear's been quite well behaved. He's been sleeping all morning. So have Batty and Elsa. The chickens haven't gone exploring anywhere today either. Stayed in the little space. So I think it's quite a day of stillness. Still for reflecting. And just doing little tiny bits of things just to keep the mind going. Allowing the air to come through. So I'm going to have a cup of tea now and then return to my slow doing. On this slow day of doing, I've used almost all the veggies up because I don't like anything going to waste. So I've made a lentil and carrot soup for maybe tomorrow, next day. I've made a leek and mushroom stew, vegetable stew and potatoes for today and probably tomorrow. It's quite big. I've soaked some oats because I got some big oats. I didn't realise that you need to soak them first before cooking them. So I'm soaking oats. And apparently it'll make a really big, chunky, thick, creamy porridge tomorrow. So I'm soaking oats in a little oat milk and some water. Trying to think what else. yeah, made myself a lovely egg and potato and onion and leek fried up thing, which Elsa went nuts over, and I separated it between Elsa, Bear and Batty, but Bear had wandered off, and Elsa stole Bear's, so I suppose it serves Bear right for disappearing, and it serves me right for leaving it where she could get in the first place. But yeah, I'm going to return back out in a minute because the wind's picking up and I felt a little tad of water through the air, and I think possibly it wants to think about a little rain. So now is the good time to shut everything up, stop anything getting wet, and bring that rug in and put it back on the bed until we have another dry day. Okay, so I'm just sat waiting for my mate to turn up. After a wild chasing Bear, who was chasing the chickens, he'd broke into where they hang out and was chasing them round and round, and I had to run in and grab him, and he did have a chicken cornered and he didn't try and do anything, but I think he just wants to play. But when you're a chicken and you've got something that size running after you and trying to play, it's not funny and it isn't play. Perspective's always important. So he's tied to a post at the moment, because eventually I had to wrestle him, get him out of there and stick him to the post. So we have had news from the communications lady, who's awesome. He's a bit like a teenager. He's going, well, I didn't realise, pretty much like any teenager would. Did I? Oh, did I upset them? Oh, I didn't mean to upset them. Yeah. I was just having fun. I was doing this, and then I decided to do that because that was fun, and then I decided to do that because that was fun. I didn't realise that actions had consequences. Which, it's like a teenager. The thing is, he's roamed in his past, and was trapped in the 4 fences when he was at the shelter, and then he's come out of the 4 fences to here. He just wants to go on adventures again. Problem with that is there's sheep and livestock in some of the fields, and I've seen him bark and run towards them while he's been in here. I haven't seen him chase them when he's been out there. I don't know what he does when he goes out there. He usually disappears that way. So I don't know, and I'm not happy with that. And we still don't know where he gets me up in the middle of the night or anything, but I have no idea. I really think that he needs to be somewhere, because I don't feel like any animal should be caged or tied, and it's okay. There's like a compromise in my mind where you do it for a short period of time so that animal knows this is the boundary, this is the zone, this is where you live, this is where we stay, and then you go, right, okay, freedom. So like with the chickens, freedom, there you go. You've decided that that's your home, and you know you're safe there. Okay, well, let's see how you go now. And they take themselves out, and they wander and they do their thing, and they know that whatever happens, they go back to their house. Perfect. That's exactly what you want. And Bear does wander and he does come back. But there's other people, when he's going out there, he's bothering others, and that's not good. These two, they don't go far. They wander with me, and they always stay near me. And the only time they do wander is if I'm not there. So they can be free and happy. But I don't think Bear could be happy here, because to be happy here he'd have to stop wandering. And it's in his spirit to wander. He needs to wander, he needs to roam. And he needs a place, I think, where he can roam, where he's not upsetting other livestock or other people, and he can be in his space, which can be whatever size his space is. And the walls need to be about solid and at least 6-7 foot high. Chain link or something, stock fencing, animal fencing is absolutely just about bearably okay, but he just squashes it. He's just like, not a lot can hold him. He can work out gates and things eventually, mainly because he watched Elsa, who worked it out pretty much straight away, because she's a very clever dog. There she is. So yeah, I'm really on the border of him having to return to the kennels. And even though he's been done, and even though he's a fairly young dog, he's done this for that long, that to be able to go somewhere, he needs to go somewhere where he can roam and be happy and be safe, and other things can be safe. And right now he's a liability, I think, roaming. And yeah, I think that's where I'm going to leave it for now. But I've had another word with Annie, and she'll be reading or listening to that, and she's going to try and talk to him again later, which will be brilliant. She's already tried to say, come on, you meant to stay within the zone. I'll see what my friend says, who's going to turn up, who does animals and stuff, the horse whispering friend, who's very good with dogs. And we'll see. But for me, the option of keeping him on a lead or a tether or zip lining it, it's not how, if I was a dog, that I'd want to be treated. So yeah, I'm going to think long and hard about it. And I'm going to go and put the kettle on. Well, I don't know if you can hear him barking outside, but basically he's used to wandering, and it's possible, not impossible, it's possible that he can learn not to wander and to just stay within his space. And to do that, it's going to take quite a long time. And we haven't bonded yet. And it's going to need him to bond for him to do it. But the time that it takes for us to be together and do what he needs, I don't know how possible that is. You know, it's really difficult to be with him and be attached to something so big and strong, who wants to do exactly what he wants to do, while I've also got another 2 dogs that are really well behaved, but Elsa still needs managing and training, and still manage to try and do stuff. I'm kind of doing it already at the moment. I'm, you know, moving him to where I am, so I've got my hands free so I can do stuff. But I'm not Superwoman and getting my hands free to do stuff and give him attention and manage the other two and try and do stuff is only possible some of the time, because like if I go to work and I'm doing an engine rebuild, I can't take him with me and he can't stay here tied up, and he can't be left untied because he's a liability. So what would you do? Like, I mean, this is down to me. It's my choice, my responsibility. I took him on. But how on earth do you give him what he needs and still, I don't know, sort out everything else that you got to sort out when I've not got a kennel to just stick him in. Everything's been, you know, moved. And if I do take him, if he'd get in the car to go to work, he would be in a kennel while I'm working and then come out of the kennel. And that requires a lot more work and sorting stuff out. So I just don't know how probable it is, and to be able to manage all this and make things work. I'm going to have a good think about it. The thing is as well, it's energy. I mean, where do you find the energy to do all the things that he needs and still do your own thing? Bearing in mind, I've just, 3 days trying to recover from cleaning up after people. It's like, come on now. Like, I'd be stupid to think that, you know, I'd have all the energy and all that to be able to do it. So, as much as what he has is better than what he's got, if he went back, I don't know whether it's a very good long-term solution. And I don't like tying up animals. I certainly don't like caging animals. And I certainly don't think that having a dog on a zip line or a chain's going to be very nice for him or for people when they come. So, yeah, I need to think about this a lot, because the karma of bringing him and making the effort is one thing, but to take him back as well, knowing that he's going to be in this little tiny kennel, that sucks. But at the same time, I need energy and stuff to be able to move. I give Elsa and Batty a home with no problems. So, well, no problems now. Obviously, they both need work still, but they're not an issue. But I best go, because you can barely see me. My batteries are running low on my torch and my LEDs, and yeah. So that's where we're up to today at Creative Roots. Any solutions, please give us a shout. I'd love to hear people's thoughts on things. Yeah. And to keep an eye on what we're up to, please subscribe. Please feel free to share with friends and stay in touch. Send us a message. I'd love to hear from you, especially over this kind of thing. Anyway, lots of love. Good night.